Continuing with the Sefer Mishlei, we are in the seventh verse of Mishlei, and now finally Shlomo HaMelech is starting his Sefer. The first verse, well, he really starts the Sefer, is as follows: Yirat Adonai Reshit Da'at, Chochma U'Musar Evilim Bazu. So it says as follows, that the beginning of knowledge is the fear of God. We're going to soon see what that is. And wisdom and discipline are things that foolish ones scorn. So we're going to explain the first part, the second part. I saw a couple of interesting pirushim, Baruch Hashem. The basic explanation of Yirat Hashem, Reshit Dat, is that before a person comes to learn obviously Torah or any type of knowledge, they have to first find within themselves the concepts and the obligation to fear HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And the reason for this is because of the continuation of the Pasuk. The continuation of the Pasuk says that one who does not fear God, all of the knowledge that they accumulate for themselves is only going to be as bazu. It's going to be scorned, it's going to be disrespected, devalued. And therefore, when a person comes to learn, they have to, before they learn, find the fear in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It says in Masechet Avot, and the Mefarshim bring it down, that Kol Shirat Cheto Kodemet Lechochmato, Chochmato Mitkayemet. Anyone who the fear comes before their knowledge will be everlasting, and the opposite is also true. Meaning, the same concept. When a person is going to first fear Hashem, then the wisdom that they learn from all the Torah that they'll learn is actually going to be everlasting. However, a couple Mishnayot after that, there's another Mishnah. Anyone who's quite fluent in Masechet Avot, the ethics of our fathers, it says as follows: Im en chochma en yirah. If there's no wisdom, so there's no fear. So which one's first? From the first, it would mean that fear comes before wisdom. And the second Mishnah, it would seem that wisdom is more important than fear. So which one is it? This is how the Ri Nachmias answers. He says, really, like we said, first of all, fear. We have to have the fear of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and then the knowledge will stick and we'll grow with it. So how do we answer that other Mishnah, that im en chochma en yirah? He says as follows: there are certain people, Baruch Hashem, not too many, but there are certain people who are just not able to understand. They're not able to comprehend. They're not able to learn. They're not even able to amass knowledge. But many, and most, they're born and they don't know too much. However, the way he puts it is they have koach, they have a power, and they have the ability to amass knowledge. So that's what it means, im en chochma en yirah. If a person has no capabilities of even growing in their chochma, so then there's not going to have yirah, they're not going to have chochma, they're not going to have anything. But a person who's born in this world and they're blessed with some brains, they're blessed with the capability and the potential of learning, that is one who has chochma, and once they have that potential chochma, they could have yirah. But what comes first? Nevertheless, yirah always comes first. The Mitzudat Sion and then the Mitzudat David, they both say something very interesting. They say that the Evilim, that the foolish ones that Shlomo HaMelech are referring to, are really Reshayim. Why? And I'll quote to you: Ki en adam over avera ela im ken nichnas bo ruach shtut. We know the Talmud Masechet Sotah says that a person will not come to sin unless some type of crazy spirit passes through them and helps them to sin. So who would come and they'll disgrace lo alenu or scorn divrei Torah, chochma and musar, is only going to be a rasha. I'm going to end off with one last part. The Drashot Haran. Haran was one of the medieval scholars, one of the Rishonim. He says it's so important to build a strong foundation. And the proper way to build a foundation is to first attain fear of Hashem, and then to build knowledge on top of that. The Ya'abetz, he goes a little further. He says, of course there's fear, and then there's the wisdom. But he says, what's the point? look at something very interesting. He says this in Pimale. We've already spoke about this concept, but he says it very short and very clear. Beautiful. He says that there is a three-pronged system that we are supposed to do. The first, which is not part of that, is obviously fear. Now, once a person has fear, they have strong foundation, how are they supposed to build? The first is they're supposed to learn, gain knowledge. The second is they're supposed to do whatever you learn. There's no point of learning it if you're not going to do it. So do it, act along with it. And the third is, as he says, to be mashpia al achirim, to let it go forth, to influence others positively. So you come to the synagogue, you learn that you need to put on tefillin a certain way. Very good, now you learned it. Okay, second, do it. Come every day, do it. Third is, now help others to do so as well. Now that's maybe a very elementary example. However, the concept is true in any aspect of Torah, whether it's a law, whether it's a to-do, a not to-do, whether it's philosophy, any type of chokhmah that we have. First learn, second do, and third help and give it over to others. May HaKadosh Baruch Hu bless us that we will attain a proper level of fear of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which will then promote us to remember and attach to the Torah and all chokhmah that we learn. Baruch Adonai L'olam. Amen.